So my name is Tanush. I am having a total 13 years of experience into IT, and I'm into success factors from last 7 years. I worked in multiple modules like recruitment management, onboarding, and then learning management as well. I've done multiple implementations for multi-country organizations as well. So currently, I'm based out of Hyderabad and working on recruitment and onboarding modules for my client. And when it comes to my experience with success factors, I from last 7.5 years, I'm working in success factors. Initially, I started my journey with recruitment, and then I went into learning management, and then into onboarding. And in middle, I'd done some kind of activities for recruiting marketing as well, like recruiter experience and candidate experience. And I usually work from morning 9 to 6, and after that, I'll take these trainings and all. So in all the modules. So today we will talk about the recruiter experience. It's also called as recruitment management system in SAP SuccessFactors. It's one of the suite in the SuccessFactors suite is one of the module for recruitment, and this module is connected with our Employee Central. If you are aware of SuccessFactors, Employee Central is the core area where all the data of the employees will be stored, and for the recruitment the normal process way is that we get the details from our employee central from the core HR system, and then we process all the activities related to hiring, like getting the application, like first of all posting the job in career sites or job boards, and then getting the application, and then moving the candidate into different recruitment process, like for example interviews or assessments, background checks. It depends on the organization whether they would do the background checks before or after, but all the process related to the recruitment, like offer release, offer acceptance from the candidate, and then collecting some documents at the time of offer, and then conducting kind of a screening process for the background check, and then moving the candidate to onboarding if we have an onboarding module. So if the onboarding module is not there, then we directly process our candidate from recruitment to our employee central, so that the candidate will be converted to as an employee for and then the employee will join, the hiring date will be different, and all these things will come into picture when we send the data from our recruitment system to our employee central system. So again, recruiting is one of the module, and it can be implemented as a standalone. Like if even if you do not have any other modules in success factors, but the requirement is only for recruitment, we can still implement the recruitment module as well. So it's kind of a standalone module where we can connect with Employee Central, or without Employee Central also we can run recruitment system in the success factors suite. So when it comes to recruitment module, we have another module called candidate experience. That is basically our recruiting marketing. So all the things that we do in recruiting management module, recruiter experience, is that is related to hiring process. Whereas recruiting marketing is more focused on showcasing your organization to the candidates and also engaging them before they join into the system. That is more related to recruitment marketing. So in this training session we will focus on recruiter experience. So earlier it is called as recruitment management, but now if you want to do a certification, this is called as recruiter experience. And the other module that I have mentioned, recruiting marketing, is now called as candidate experience. So we can connect our recruitment module with our candidate experience, onboarding, and our EC as well, Employee Central as well. So basically, as I mentioned, recruiting is one of the core HR application where talent module. Some people also call it as talent module. One of the recruiting is called a talent module in the suite. So where we source the candidate, we engage a little bit kind of sending an automated emails for the new jobs posted in the organization, or sending some information, like for example, if we create some account in Naukri, right, they'll give you alerts every day. They'll give you alerts saying that these are the jobs posted in our website. You can view those jobs. If you are interested, you can apply. Those kind of engage also, we will do it in the recruitment itself. And once the candidate is applied for a job, we do the hiring process, like interview scheduling. We can connect our Microsoft Teams with our success factors to get the calendar of the interviewers. We can send communication, SMS communication, and also mass communications, and also emails. And we can also generate offer letters which candidate can sign within the system itself. We can send the offer letters in multiple formats, like for example PDF, or a text, or an email. It's up to the organization how they want to achieve. So how a typical recruitment process works, not only in success factors but outside also. First of all, they will identify a position. The position is nothing but the requirement of a particular job, which department that job belongs to, who is the hiring manager, what is the minimum and maximum salary ranges, whether it's a full time or a part time, and if what is the location, what is the country. All these things we collect in the vacancy position. And then the requirement is finalized, then we will go for the approval process. Within the system, we will go for approval process, because if we want to hire any candidate, right, we need to have multiple approvals from the manager, from the HR business partner, from the finance team, from the hiring team. So all those approvals we capture in the position itself. And then we will create a requisition is nothing but a form where we capture all these information that is needed for a particular position. And then we'll send the requisition for approval. And then once it is approved, we post the jobs into multiple areas, like internal, external, private postings, like a confidential posting. If we are hiring any top level management like CTOs and all, we don't want to post it in Naukri. So they do kind of have the candidate spoken privately, and they do the postings. And if you want to advertise it to Naukri's, LinkedIn, or any job board that is available in any country, we can also integrate that one as well. And once we source the candidate, a recruiter will review, and we have an assessment integration. If we want to do achieve it, we can do the assessment integration with any vendor. And then it goes to review, like whether that particular resume is suitable or not. All these steps we do in the system as a uh, these steps call it as applicant status, where each status, interview 1, interview 2, hiring manager review, HRBP review. Because once they do your resume, once they view your resume and they feel that okay, your skills, your competencies, all their matches, then only they will go for interview, right? So that's the reason we have this in the system, so that we will track what is the level of the candidate, what is the status of the candidate. Because once we post a job, for example, we can get multiple hundreds of candidates, and each candidate also we need to track them in the system. And then we do the salary negotiation, offer approvals, and then releasing the letters, and then hiring the candidate. Either it can be using an onboarding or an employee center. So this is the page. It's just a overview of the page, how a requisition looks like. You can see that ID will be there, whether it's still accepting, and you can see how many candidates applied, how many postings we have done, and if we have any internal candidates. And if we want to rate the candidates out of their resume or out of their interview, we can do that in the system. We can maintain a description, we can maintain the titles. Description in the nothing but roles and responsibilities, what you need to do once you join, and what is the expectation of the organization. Everything we will post it there. So career site, we can post the jobs into organizations website, where people can look for the jobs based on a division, department, country, state, job levels, whether a travel is required or not. We will have the options. All these things we can configure
So,
in the system.
Manish, I have a one question.
Yes.
Manish, I have a one question.
Yes.
Manish, like in recruitment module generally,
Okay.
we there is a one department also in HR. Generally, we used to have we call a workbench, right?
Yes.
Workforce management department.
Yes.
There they push out. internal candidate to be get hired on certain recruit positions which is there.
Yes.
So there is one module for succession planning as well, ST
Yes.
for SM. So is there any integration between these two modules? And if it is there, what are the general attributes generally get tagged in recruitment? Like, is there a recruitment module we can manage those kind of angle as well, or like it's a different aspect altogether?
It's a different option altogether because it's not directly connected, but in the system, we have an option called search for jobs. That is for the internal jobs. From there we post the jobs, like for example we have a recruiting, right? In there we post the jobs, and we give a link in the succession saying that okay, these are the jobs that are posted internally, and if they want they can click on that link, and that will navigate to the job posting of the internal job posting, not the external job posting, internal job posting where they can apply for it. But when it comes to parameters, what are needed for the succession to connect is that position.
No,
Whenever
no,
we
that I'm clear. That I'm clear that succession planning actually is a different module where 9 2Ps or something like that they have to maintain. But I was just looking forward that where is that option where this gets interconnected or maybe integration generally get done
it's
between these two modules.
using the integration, either it's an integration center or using a CPI or Boomi, where they will fetch the data from our RCM system and they will push to succession module. That's
Okay.
one kind of an integration. Or if that internal job postings, like it's not very high level number, then what we usually do suggest is that if the number is very less, because all the succession you will not do the hiring from internals only, right? You also do from external, so the number will be less. In those cases, they'll reach out to the recruitment team will create a requisition, they post internally, and then they will give that link in the succession.
Maybe a succession is something where we have a potential candidate who, get a pool of uh,
Yes.
potential candidate. From there they apply IJP. But let it be, if it is not a succession planning, like IJP process, posting a IJP for maybe as per our policy and processes. If I,
Mhm.
like I'm currently working with SCL, right? So
Mhm.
SF is getting implemented. We about to be getting recruitment and marketing getting implemented in our SF environment.
Yes.
So do we have any option there that we can manage our IJP process on a recruitment portal?
Yes, whenever we do internal posting, it's IJP only, where existing employees who are active in the system will apply for the internal roles. And the internal process also, application will be from internal, but when it comes to the approvals and all, it's still valid, where we will get the approvals from the hiring manager and also the current hiring manager, the future hiring manager and current hiring manager also, we can take the approval. So that kind of process is also can be done in the recruitment system.
It's like what is the portlet or maybe the service name in recruitment module where we do this,
Sorry, your last point I'm not clear. There was some disturbance with the
where
traffic
where
noise.
where we do this thing in recruitment module, maybe portlet or the service name.
Where we do in the recruitment module, it's with the
Yeah,
standard
yeah.
approach only. It's a standard approach with the recruitment system where we create the while configuring the templates, which are data models,
Okay,
right? We do enable the internal postings.
okay. Got it. Thanks for the clarification.
So if you see here, the next topic which I was about to go, you can see intranet posting. So here you will get a link, and that link we can navigate it to the internal jobs. So let me log out here. See careers. So this careers is nothing but some people call it as IJPs, some people call it as internal transfers, where all the jobs that are posted for a particular internal requirement will be available here. And we do have referral tracking as well if you want to refer anyone, because IJPs also can be done using referrals. Yes, we can do that referral tracking as well. So when it comes to the job postings, we can do external, we can do internal, we can do private postings, we can do job boards like Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn, all those things. And if we have any third party agencies which are connected to our organization for hiring, we can also create agency portals and then we can give it to them, where once you post the job, the agency portal will get an email and they can upload the resumes from that portal itself. And then we can define the career site, and this is, we have different data models is nothing but the base structure of the recruitment. We have different data models for requisition. Profile is nothing but where we collect candidate's personal information like his previous employment, education, his address, his dependent details, his location, his cover letter, his resume. All those things we collect in the profile section. And we have a different for application section, because each job may have a different requirement, right? For example, some jobs they will ask for remote working, some jobs they ask for relocation. So that's the reason, again, application will be different. Application is more tied to a job, whereas profile is more tied to a candidate. And all these things we can define in an XML template. Usually recruitment system uses XML template. It's not that very hard, and we will also discuss how to define each and every data point that we want to collect from the candidate. We will define, and we will also discuss at the time of our training sessions how to define each field. From backend also we can do using XML template, or from front end also we can do this configuration. But at the time of learning, it's better to learn as an backend XML configuration, so that it will be easy in future. If you want to implement, it's the best option, because at the time of implementation, from the front end is nothing but this system where everything is kind of a drag and drop option will be there. So if it is a drag and drop and if you have to define 100 or 150 fields at the time of implementation, it will be difficult. So that's the reason we also learn in our training session how to define an XML, what can be done in an XML. All things will check, and also from the front end how to define a field. So both areas I will cover in the session. And also we will also discuss what are the different systems, like landscape of success factors, how many systems we'll have, how we get the backend access to enable something, what are the different portals where you can get access to, where you can also get help from. We will also discuss all those things here. And also if you are going into an implementation, how to download the workbooks, how where to download, and what are the documents, and what are the different solutions we have to implement the recruitment management system, like rapid, standard, customized, it how we define it, and what are the different types of accounts that we have in success factors, where we can get the account from our client system. All these things we will also discuss in detail. And when it comes to the templates, as I mentioned, we have requisition, offer, application, profile, and integration. So all these four: requisition, offer, application, profile, we will define in XML. And integration is basically a drag and drop option from the front end itself. So when it comes to the integration, we can integrate our RCM system to EC, or RCM to onboarding and then to EC, or with any third party systems we can also connect. Like for example, if your organization is having any existing system like SAP or Oracle or PeopleSoft, whatever HCM system, we can also integrate that one with our SuccessFactors RCM system. So in the due course, like we will discuss in the front end system. So once the XML definitions or how to define an XML is over, mostly I'll concentrate on front end only. I'll not teach based on a PPT or based on a PDF, something like that. Only for your understanding, I'll go back to PPT, I'll explain you the topics, and then I'll again come back to the system. So most of the case we will discuss in the system. Also 80% of the course is dependent on the system. So I'll show you the navigations. I'll ask you to how to navigate, and once the session is over, I will ask you to create some fields and also say give permissions, test in the system. We will also give the access to the system, and you can practice the sessions. Not only recruitment, we will give access to entire success factor suite that we have. Basically this is a sales demo. Some integrations will not work because those are paid integrations, so those will not work, but all other areas like end-to-end scenarios you can do it. And also I'll show how an end-to-end scenario will work once we discuss the configuration. And also we will discuss a workbook.
One more quick question, Tanush. One more
Yes.
quick question, Tanush. When you say that we're gonna have access to perform certain tasks, so I
Okay.
got it like recruitment module and marketing module gonna be there, right? Career one. But
No, no, no.
do we
This
have a
session is more on a recruitment management only, not on marketing. So you will
no, no,
not
no.
have
I'm saying
access to marketing.
while we enroll in the training, you
Mhm.
will help us to cover the marketing module as well, or like what you are saying, that's a separate training we have to take it.
That's a separate training. That's a separate certification. That's a separate module altogether for
Okay, okay,
marketing.
okay, okay, okay. But here we get a chance to have some maybe case building or certain integration which we can perform, right?
Some integrations we can perform. For example, we have itself an integration center like mass updating requisitions, mass updating applications, mass updating profiles. All these can be done from the integration center. But
Okay.
integrations like first advantage or assessments or marketing or job boards, those are all paid versions and will not be provided for sales demos or training. You have to have a client which are signed up for the success factors SAP system, and then only they will give that option for enabling it. So that's the reason those are all out of scope when we talk about the recruitment management session. And also we will discuss how to gather the requirement from the client at the time of implementation and how we maintain the workbook. So workbook is nothing but our configuration area where each and everything that we configure in the system, we will capture in the workbook itself. And based on the topic, I will also explain some live support cases, how we handle those cases, and how we face issues at the time of implementation. All those things also we will discuss in the session itself. So we have a lot many areas where to cover. For example, interviews, background checks, offers. How do we configure? We have different roles in the system. We have the route map. Route map is nothing but approval process. First, who should approve, and then who should approve. Like that, also we will discuss how to configure all those things. So requisition template, creation, how to get the data from Employee Central, how we will send the data from Employee Central. All those things we will cover in the system. So we will also share a course content after this session, maybe by in the next 1 2 hours, and you can also verify the course content. And all the training recordings also will be provided once the class is over, and also a PPT where each day I'll explain some things in PPT, and then I'll show in the system. That PPT will also be shared to you post the class. So usually it takes 25 hours to 30 hours to complete a recruitment management. So if it is a weekdays, we take 1 hour a session, 1 hour a day session, and if it is weekend, if we could take 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday. So basically, usually it will take around 1.5 months to complete the recruitment management. And it will be an interactive session. If you have any questions, you can stop and ask us and we will reply. And if you need any questions, if you have configured something, we can see in the system, not in your client system or something, which you have access in the demo system, which we have access, so that we can check and update you. And we will also share the implementation guides, the PTO document, the project team orientation documents, and also some documents which are relevant and useful to learn RCM. So our expectation from you is that do the session, complete the session, and then do a practice each and every day, maybe an half an hour or 1 hour, depends on your time, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Also, it will be, you can also easily understood the navigation and all. So that's how we run the sessions. And if you have any questions, please ask.
Tanush, from where we like, how do we know like we have a requirement in a company and we have to post over the success factor and like those things? I'm a little bit confused.
So requirement in the sense like we as a job seeker we are applying, or you are saying that how success factors implementation will be approached?
Like as an SAP success factor consultant, we have to upload requirements over the portal so that people will see like the job is open in the company or like any other vendor who like agency who is working on the as a third party. They know
Mhm.
like the particular job is available in the company. So how as a consultant, how do we know like the requirement is available in the company or uh,
See,
yeah, in a
usually
business
success
end?
factors consultant is the work of a success factors consultant is to configure the system and give it to recruiters. And if they face any technical issues or if they face any process gaps, we will assist them. So but at the time once the implementation is over, it's up to the end user. End users are hiring managers, recruiters. Every time there is a requirement and they need to reach a success factors consultant to raise a requisition or raise a job posting is not possible in a live environment, because if your organization is multi-country, every time handling these kind of requirements as a consultant is very tough. You need to have a lot of consultants. So what we do as a technical people is that we configure the system based on the requirement, or based on a we define a structure. In that structure they can create the data. So for example,
Okay,
we
okay.
create a structure saying that okay, we create a structure let's say for example a paper. In the paper we define some sections, and that section has to be filled by the end user. The end user is nothing but business. They are the owners of the system, right? They need to fill it, and once they give it, it's up to us how to configure it. But each and every requirement, like for example if they have a thousand hiring in a system, hiring thousand requisitions, we will not create, we will automate the system. They will create, they will update the data, they will use it for the hiring process. And if they face any technical issue, we will help them. So our work is on based on a configuration, not on the end user perspective.
Okay. Yeah,
Tanush,
because
one more
like
question.
previously I'm the end user of success factor.
Okay, you are a end user of success factors, that is good.
Yeah,
Then in that
I'm
case,
handling LNP technology success factor. Like I'm uploading the
okay.
candidates
Mhm.
and also like all the process of visa and all I'm doing in the onboarding process as well. So
Okay, then
that's
in
why.
that case, you are kind of an HR admin.
Yes, 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 you are right.
Because HR normally success factors as a policy where you cannot get the provisioning access because you are a direct working in a partner company, a like client company. So you can learn from it and then you can do it. But back end access again will not be provided to you if you are from the client company itself. So again, you need a different consultant. So partner is different, client consultant is different. Two people will be there. So client consultant is kind of an HR admin where they take, you take the requirement from your business. If it is possible, you can create it. If it is not possible, or if there is some configuration changes are required, then you reach out to partner consultant. For example, you are saying that L&T, right? You might have some partner also to implement or to support.
Yes, 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 you're right.
Yes.
The vendors.
Vendors, basically. Yes, you are kind of an HR admin, but our training is more focused on consultant, technical consultant.
But Tanush,
Yes.
I see certain customers in HCL where customer people who are like L3 for some of other time, they also
Hmm.
have those sort of a technical level accesses. They
Yes.
are doing a configuration and something. So
Yes.
it is not mandate that we gonna have the partner to be accessed, but if we have an in-house capacity of managing the technical work, maybe
It's
these people
it's
also would,
mhm. It's more
right?
on a organization structure. Normally, if you need anything
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
has
yeah,
to be done
yeah.
from
Agreed,
the
agreed, agreed.
provisioning side, then you need a partner. But if you
Yeah,
don't
but
need a
like
partner, then you can
I
manage it.
I am working for a customer which is basically have a very around 10 modules of SF. So everything is
Okay.
there of SF.
Okay. Okay.
So they have their on-site managers on in Germany, where these people
Mhm.
are actually have a very good learning and maybe hands-on on these experiences. But they are on a roles of a customer only.
Yeah. So normally what we define in a bigger organizations is that L1 to L3. So L1 is something like end user admin, where, for example, recruiter or second recruiter, those kind of people are L1s. So if hiring manager is facing issue or they want something, they will reach out to recruiter. But if recruiter is not, the work is not in the scope of a recruiter, then they will transfer it to L2. L2 we call it as system experts. Normally they are aware of success factors, they are aware of the configuration also, but if there is a big change like impact analysis, or if they want to enable something from the provisioning system, all these things again L2 will transfer it to L3. L3 is our, we people, basically we are technical consultants, right? We check the issue, we check the bugs, we check
You
the
know, this is
configuration
what I'm
side.
trying to this is what I'm trying to communicate that even L3 is I have a customer where L3 are on the customer roles, and these people have that level of access for
See,
provisioning and
yes,
everything.
it's
They
a
are
more about
certified.
the naming convention, right? So you can transfer it L2 to L3. Some people call it L1, L2, L3. Some people call it L3, L4, L5. It's up to yours. But when it comes to the structure, one admin will be there, one subject matter will be there, and one partner consultant will be there for any module. So you call it with any names, but the level of expertise will increase once you increase with these people.
Correct.
Some
And
small
quick
organizations,
question,
right, they
as
don't want so many people, they only hire the partner consultant. End user will do,
yeah,
partner
yeah.
consultant will do. There will not be any
No, I agreed with the
admin
thought.
involved.
Agreed with the thought that conclusively, like it depends upon the structure how organization has been,
Yes.
accommodated. One quick question, Tanush. As there
Okay.
is a new SF module is coming like Join, right? John, AI
John,
related.
yes. AI related, yes.
Yeah, I have seen. I have referred to one of the, you know, I would say, reference material on SAP community that
Okay.
Join is also enabled certain AI things for recruitment. So,
Yes,
are
we
we
have.
going to cover those attributes as
No.
well while taking a training?
No, because again, AI assisted Joil or AI assisted any type of feature, first of all, even client will not be able to test until you purchase the AI license. If you see the community things, that the end they mentioned that AI is a licensed feature. It's not a free feature available,
Correct,
and that license cost
correct.
itself is very high. Some features in recruitment,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
license itself for one utilization, $37 for one utilization, and you can imagine how many utilizations we'll have in the system itself.
So actually, our customer is very rich. Yeah, they are planning to uh, have some, certain license uh, procured for recruitment and for ECL for payroll.
Mhm.
So that is what I asked.
Okay. Because all these things are not available in a free of cost, because these are all kind of, even if you want to purchase, you cannot directly purchase. First of all, you need to purchase the entire success factor system from them as a client, and then you can add on these additional licenses.
No, but at least can we expect like while accommodating this training, I know
Mhm.
that this particular module is not possible to cover, but at least what we can automate, what exactly in their
Yeah, yeah,
in
that
the
we will
automation
discuss
prospect.
because we have business rules, we have integration
Yeah, yeah,
center,
yeah,
we,
yeah.
all those things we can discuss the automation. That will be that, but not with the
Okay, okay.
specific licenses and all.
No, no, that's okay. I
Mhm.
moreover interested just to know about what exactly is there and how uh,
Okay.
it is there, how the things are automated and what are the manual thing in recruitment which is getting automated. That's what
Okay.
my intent just to
Okay. Okay.
aspect.
Got it. Any other questions?
Will it cover RMK and onboarding in this?
No, no, Subbu. Only recruitment management. RMK and onboarding, the latest version 2.0 is again a different modules.
Yeah, generally I feel one thing, like I'm not saying that this is the experience which I feel like if you go for any opportunity in recruitment, right? It,
Mhm.
it they ask for a hands-on experience on marketing as well, at least with recruitment.
See,
Because these two
see,
things
not only
generally,
this one, even if you go to, for example, succession, they'll ask for performance. If you go to compensation, they will ask for performance. So it's all interrelated modules, right? For one particular module, no one will hire in the outside environment. Normally, you should be having hands-on experience, minimum of two modules, which are interconnected basically. If you are going with LMS, you need EC. If you are going with onboarding 2.0, then you need EC as well. So that's the reason normally EC is the first module, and
right?
then other modules, it's up to the user interest. If they are in, for example, a lot of HR people, they take the EC and then they take the RCM and onboarding separately. So that the entire
Okay,
connection will work from EC to onboarding and then onboarding to EC.
okay.
Okay, any other questions, or we will good to close the session for today, and your respective people
One
will reach
question.
out to you. Yes, Subbu.
So I'm a fresher in this. Till
Mhm.
now, I worked as an USID recruiter, and I'm shifting to RCM.
Okay.
So I had a question like, what is the difference? Like, I mean, RCM consultant and HR. Like, will they act as both HR and RCM, or they are different?
No, they will be different in some scenarios because RCM consultant is more on a technical perspective where they configure the system. But when it comes to the HR, he's kind of an end user to hire the people. But in some organizations, HR will be trained with success factors on some configuration levels so that they no need to reach out to anyone. They can directly do it. For example, a HR is there, he is hiring some people, okay, and suddenly he faced some issue in the system where candidate was not able to complete something or candidate is not visible. Then again reaching out to consultant and then waiting for that, it will take time, right? So what organizations do is that they'll give some trainings to these end users, HRs, recruiters, HRBPs on the success factors, but they need not be a technical consultant again.
Like in a recent interview, I had a question from the interviewer. Like,
Mhm.
for example, uh, you are an RCM consultant. What are your roles and responsibilities? So, like I have mentioned, like taking a requisition from the client and then posting and all. So then he said that they are all like HR
HR,
job role. Uh,
because that you are not a you are a technical consultant, you will not post the jobs and all. That's not your work. If they are posting it, if a HR is posting the job and they face any issue, you are the person they reach out, but you are not the one who posts the jobs.
okay. Okay.
So basically, for your question, when an interviewer asks, right, what is your role? So basically, if it is a support project, you do support tickets which are raised by HR. If there is an issue, there is a support ticket and you resolve that issue. And if they want to enable new features, change management, existing configuration, but they want to enable some additional configurations, so you do the change management. And whenever there is a release happens from SAP, you do the release management. So basically a technical consultant is works on ticket management, release management, and change management, which covers entire all technical areas.
Thank you.
So, and also do the customization like as per the HR requirements or company
Customization
requirements.
is
They are
nothing but
also
again change management, right? You take the
change management.
requirement, what needs to be
Yes,
customized,
yes.
you deliver the change. Any other questions related to SF or certifications? Anything you can ask?
So directly, we are do the training of RCM without having any knowledge of EC or any other.
Yes.
Uh,
As
okay.
I mentioned, it's a standalone module. If you want to connect with EC, yes, you want. If you don't want, you only use RCM system. So that's the reason in the session also, we will cover both. How to connect with EC, how to connect with onboarding, and without onboarding on EC connection also, we can still run it.
Okay. Like the company have the requirements only for RCM, those we can apply, and who like the requirement with RCM with EC, like we are
Yes.
not able to apply for that. Am I right?
No, no, we will be able to apply. There will be additional steps. So, for example,
Okay,
let's
okay.
say if you want to configure RCM system, right? You have 20 places where you can configure it. If you have RCM plus EC, you need to configure in 25 places. If you have onboarding as well, you need to configure additional places like 30, 35. But base 20 RCM is common for everyone. First, you need to do the module configuration, then only you can interconnect other modules. Organizations, what they do is that if it is a fresh organization, for example, let's say any organization, they just purchased the success factors, they immediately will not take all the modules and they implement all the modules at once. They'll go step by step. First they will identify which is the main one, they will go with that one, and then they will increase it the levels. Even for example, you are saying that LNT, right? LNT started their configuration in 5 years ago with EC only, and then started RCM and onboarding, and now I guess they have multiple modules in place.
Like 5 years ago, they are implementing this
Yes,
RCM also because I'm working on the
yes.
US client. So on the US,
I
I
I
think
gave
they are
an
using.
interview at that point of time. They mentioned that we just started with EC and they are planning for RCM. Maybe not sure whether it's a different understanding or what it is.
Maybe in India they are like implement, but
Yeah,
in
country basis,
US,
yes.
No, they do have multiple modules because as I'm working in SCL, so SCL
Mhm.
now also taken a step to get implemented recruitment EC along with onboarding. So
Yes.
that's what SAP have put it as an example that LNT has.
I don't know, a lot of organizations are going in the same route only because they don't want to implement all at once and then take a risk whether people will uh, like it or
But
not.
I have one to say like this is a very standard product, right?
Yes.
Everybody have to change their processes and alignment according to the like either you implement RCM or EC.
Mhm.
Your landscape which you are currently maybe in SCL we are running a different landscape for last 20 years. Suddenly SF is getting landed and everything is like changed.
See, basically, success factors evolved from our SAP HCM on premise. So, whatever they face the issues, whatever they have the limitations, all those things now came into the cloud with a more security. So, when you have that much of level of security, you cannot give the customization for each and every level. Because if you give a customization, for example, my organization which I'm working, right, it was implemented on 2011. It's been 13 years. Still, they have
It's an IT company.
150
It's an
requests.
IT
It's an
company.
IT company based out of UK.
Oh,
They have 150
okay.
requirements, which SAP SuccessFactors does not have that functionality at all.
Yeah. That's the one very I would say one thing which actually this SAP raised always their hand that they do not have a capability and they can't do it. But
It's
internally, the
not
tools
more
which
about the
we are
capability.
currently using.
Mhm. See,
No, I
capability
mean to
wise,
say not
SAP
the
is
capability.
evolving.
I would say
Mhm.
they are not very specific about their products that they can't do it
Yes.
because if they do it, definitely it's gonna impact globally, right?
That's the reason. Yes, you are true. Because a lot of organizations, what they do is that some cases, even small requirements also, they want to automate the system. When you go with that kind of an
Yeah.
automation, right, for individual level, that will complicate the system.
Uh-huh.
That will not resolve the issues. That will increase the issues.
Yeah. Can you suggest me one more thing? If you allow, may I ask you one more thing?
Sure, sure.
Very quick question. Basically,
Mhm,
as you know that whatever, let's take an example of recruitment module. We
mhm,
definitely have certain portlets where, when we action on, we get into certain field level details, right? And
right.
this field level detail are labeled as a standard, or maybe we can customize certain to the extent, but SAP allow us, right? But if you want to
SAP.
take a, say, yeah, yeah. Like certain fields we can customize. We can change their
Mhm,
labeling as per our you know
yes.
requirement, right? Maybe
Mhm,
it is happening in the EC which I seen. So must be some option also available. Maybe for an example, sometimes people say like position or maybe job. So like they can call it like they can attribute. So my question was like how in specifically to recruitment, how there is like how we can get a one dump of these all fields like at a field level where whatever attribute in a different portal
mhm.
is there some report or maybe a way we can export the data of all field level things in a recruitment, like a sort of report, or maybe is a possibility to have that.
No.
Hope you got it what I'm trying to say.
For the fields data, we can report it, but structure of the field is basically on the data models. So we don't have a report on data models. So if you need
No,
to
let's take an
maintain it,
example of job requisition. Let's take an
mm,
example of a job requisition, right? So
mm, mm,
we can create customized job requisition in a recruitment module. If I
mm.
want to download a specific all fields which are coming in a job requisition, can I
Yes,
export
we have
that
a report.
all fields?
Yes.
No, like this is like I know I can just simply download a one, but in a one shot, if you want to download everything, whatever in the as an pay element in maybe I would say element or a field in recruitment module currently, just
Mhm.
to map my workbook. Is there possibility to have that download complete dump
No,
from a recruitment module, or
that's what
we have
I'm
to go
saying.
by?
Field
Okay,
labels and all you can download, but whether that field is what type of configuration that field supports, what permissions that field has, all those things are not reportable. You need to manually do it. That's
okay,
the
okay,
reason at the time of implementation, we maintain the workbook. And after implementation also, if there is any change, we revise those workbooks.
okay, okay. But field level dump we can get it, right?
Field level dump, we can get it. Like how many in a requisition, how many fields we have, we can get it, but not at the
Actually,
configuration.
what I'm trying to say on a more understanding, like as recruitment is integrated with onboarding, I'll not take much time, maybe 2 minutes more.
Mhm.
Basically, when this recruitment module is get tagged to onboarding or maybe with the EC, right? So what are
Right.
the downstream and upstream modules are tagged in that particular module? I can interrelate. That the same data is flowing from one module to another module with a different fields. I can catch that with a field name and those
No, that
integration and
those all manual work only. You
oh,
need to maintain individually at each level to get that report.
oh.
Because the data flow
Actually, there
will
is a
be at
one
the different
governance
transactions
exercise is
also.
going on. There is
Okay,
a
okay.
data governance exercise is going on. So they are actually going on a field level.
Though if it is a field level, then it's a manual work to check which field is configured where, whether it is going into employee central, whether it is going to onboarding, and how it is going. It is
Correct,
based on a condition. All those are manual work only.
correct, correct.
If you don't have the latest
Ah,
workbooks.
yeah, yeah. Actually, customer do not have a workbook when they got implemented.
Yeah,
That's a
that
terrible
will be
thing to
right.
have. I think thank you so much, Kanush, for taking
Thank you.
some maybe related to
No,
topic,
no problem.
non-related topic.
No problem. You're welcome. Okay, in that case, we are good to wrap up the session, and your people will reach out to you, and we can decide on a timing and all, and then we can start the sessions as early as possible.
Sure, sure. So,
Thank you.
Kanush, the
Thank you.
time